Ta-da! That little thing continues to happen, my friends. Hey, welcome all. Dadman Walking 55 here, coming to you 2 minutes after 8 o'clock on the east coast of the USA. Hey, it's Thursday. That means college football does start tonight with some very usually meaningless games. But hey, anytime there's football, I'm usually happy. I think Navy, the Naval Academy in Memphis are playing tonight, as well as Bethune-Cookman is at Miami, the University of Miami down in Coral Gables. So that should be a route of all routes. But tonight, folks, we're going to focus on a preview of the SEC. We're going to look back at last week's action. We will look forward to this week's games. We'll talk a little bit of football in between and see where the hell we go. Because, folks, we had to improvise a little bit tonight. It'll be a little bit different format. We'll say in that we will follow the normal format. Then all of a sudden, we're going to have a surprise guest. Then we're going to have picks by another guest who was originally supposed to be here, and then we'll wind up. So hey, ready for this train wreck? It's already off the tracks, but hey, we enjoy jumping off the tracks here. Join us with some of our late night shows where we go really off the crazy tracks and squirrel moments all around. But let's go here first. Let's bring in our guest today, who's gladly and voluntarily sliding in here to help me at a very last minute last night when I mentioned to him. But also, not after just this. After this stream, we are going to go play Fortnite on his channel. So, hey, it's the one, the only, the great Rambling Canuck. Hey, Rambling, how are you tonight?
Well, shit. Now I'm going to have to actually try with that kind of an intro.
Oh, gosh.
Hey,
Yes.
all.
You don't have to try. You're so talented. You're, one of my favorite guests to have around because what comes up comes out, and it can be a hell of a lot of fun.
All right. Speaking of that, I have a question.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
What the? Can I swear yet? What the hell is an Aggies? Aggies. What the hell?
You mean like the Texas A&M Aggies? They're like
Aggie.
They're like collie dogs. They're collies.
Canadian wants to know what the hell an Aggie is.
It's a dog. It's a dog. It's a dog. I mean, it's a fancy name for a glorified dog with a lot of hair. So
okay, all right.
That's what an Aggie is, and I think you got other questions prepared for me, which will be wonderful, interesting to see how it happens.
What the heck's an egg? As I was looking through the standings, because like I barely pay attention to my football right now because my team sucks ass. And I'm so pissed off, and I want them to fire the coach. But
I know we all do. I do. I do my college team that we're talking about tonight. But go ahead.
But yeah, so joy. But I was just looking, and then all of a sudden I see these Aggies, and I'm like, what the frick is an Aggie?
Aggies. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, they're dogs. Glorified dogs.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess they had to.
Purpose says agricultural and mechanical college, Aggie.
Did they have to did they have to not say dog because otherwise the Georgia team would have been pissed or what?
I don't know, but you'll even love it better because Texas A&M is like a fake military school. They got a corps of cadets with their little. They wear the uniforms and march out there and stuff like that. So.
Oh, yeah, fun.
It's thing. So hey, well, let's say hello to the great people we have here. Speaking of him, the bear, the Snortopoopas Keeper comes in with hello humans and other critters. And good to see you, Snortopoopas, as usual. Rambling Canuck is welcoming everybody. Has no idea what we're talking about, but we'll fake it till we make it. Damn straight. We'll look glorious when we try. As we try. And hell to you, OC Dobbins, our guest last week. We will take a look at who was with us. Go back and watch that video. Great stream last week. Glad you're here with us tonight. And we're going to be talking a little bit about that Texas Alabama game tonight. And oh no, Snortopoopas went to TAMU for a semester. I am not an Aggie. There you go.
Just
Hell, Joseph Dredd. What's that?
You mean something that somebody calling you an Aggie would I don't know, result in a punch in the face? It just sounds like an insult.
Aggie. Well,
like an insult. I don't know. What the hell do I know?
It could be. It might be.
To me, that would be like calling you an alouette. I mean, you just punch the guy in the face.
What the hell is an alouette? Like I ask. I know you said it's French, and I agree that blow it off at that point. But what the hell is an alouette?
Hold on.
And you said, okay, I just was curious. Well, return to favor, folks. This is the type of great stuff you have on these football streams. We completely take a right turn off the college angle right now, but actually exploring kind of a cool angle with team nicknames.
Yeah, well, we call these. Oh yeah, the CFL still has their Pride Month going. All right, let's take a look here.
But yeah, hey, all right. Yes, Snortpoopers is right. Aggies are very proud of being Aggies. If you want to piss them off, call them a Longhorn. Yes. And yes, Alouette is a Canada Football League team. Yes.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure out what the nickname means, though. Kind of like, what the hell's an Aggie? That type of thing. But hey, it's all good. While Rambling's looking that up, thank you for everybody that's being here. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe
okay.
if you haven't.
So an alouette is a lark. It's a type of bird.
Oh, a lark. Oh, okay.
Yeah, type of bird.
All right. Well, that's interesting to see. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Oh man. Well, that is quite interesting. So, a bird. How do we get a bird out of an alouette? Because I thought it was like one of those fort things. Like the New Orleans Saints, kind of one of those.
Oh, it makes sense because if you see the logo for the Montreal Alouettes, it's actually the Alouettes in Alabama have a lot in common. Their main logo is a big A. Yeah, like hold on. I'll show you. So come on, give me the. Oh yeah, they've got the little. Yeah, they've got the bird in it. On the helmets, they've got the bird. Looks like a falcon, but it's not. There we go. There's the lame. There's the lame, and there's the lame one. So
yes, it's a French word.
So if you want to see what the French do to the Alabama A, you know how Team Alabama's got the A,
right?
Yeah, okay. This is what they did to it.
Yep, my buddy Hepburn's in there. He's come up with that French stuff. I will not even try to say that, my friend.
Alouette.
Yeah, I can't do that. So hey, we got 6 of y'all here now. To make sure to follow us on the Twitch side, hit like, subscribe on the YouTube side. We actually are at 460 subs tonight, so only 40 more to 500. Let's get it done with 6 great people watching us. So hey, everybody, thank y'all for being here.
Here's the really bad thing, right?
What's that?
Never look up the English translation to that song.
Okay, well, one day.
The Alouette, Jean Alouette. Basically, it's talking about defeathering a bird.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, I looked at the words to the French national anthem once, and it's like, oh my gosh, talk about bloody. Like, holy crap.
Well,
like, dang.
The funny thing is if you look at the Canadian national anthem, there's the official one, which means you start in English, you transition to French, and you transition back to English. So if you sing the official, when you sing the official "O Canada," like at sporting events or stuff like that, it starts English, transitions to French, transitions back to English at the end.
Yeah, well, hey, go for it. All right. Hey, well, we got 7 people here with this. We have taken a detour right off the bat, folks.
Fun here.
We love type of things. If we're not careful, we will be talking Canadian football. So, can I tell us really quickly for people that don't know who you are? What do you do?
Oh God, there's a long
in real
list.
life other than harass everybody.
So the basic, the short cliff notes. I play games on Rambling Canuck, and I do karaoke every Saturday night, or mostly every Saturday night when my health allows. I play Fortnite. I play Minecraft. I have 7 games on the go right now. I'm focused more on Minecraft and Fortnite. I
Mhm.
will be adding a few new things. I want to do. I thought of a cool little idea. I'm kind of advertising here, so just give me a second. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
go ahead. I don't mind here. You're
um,
here.
of
You're
just
helping me out.
recording a like going into Steam, finding a free
Mhm.
game, and playing it for 30 minutes, and
Mm.
just making a video out of it,
Yeah.
and just kind of Canuck tries free games on Steam kind of thing because I'm cheap.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool. Hey, I got a question though. The game that you had that I've got it, but I've not played it because I know you're playing for a long time. But that stupid trailer park, the lawnmower game.
oh
You know,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. Wreckfest.
what Wreckfest, dude. Have you played that lately?
Not in a little bit.
God,
But
because
I
that was
want to get
crazy.
back.
You would
Oh,
you
that was fun. I
It
love
was
that.
like you're on a lawnmower, or was lawnmower one
It's
of
a
the
game you
options?
play if you just want something stupid and fun, and you need to get out some aggression because you can
Yeah.
like you can run over a lawnmower with a bus, um,
Yes,
or challenge crash a car with a couch because you can
I
drive
know.
a couch. Um,
That was awesome. Yeah.
and now that I've got the updates, I can drive an outhouse. Um,
No way.
yeah, yeah, I can drive an
You can
outhouse.
drive an outhouse. We're going to have to do that. Is it a co-op game?
Oh yeah,
Can you
yeah, yeah.
play?
Oh yeah.
I've got the game, so maybe one day
Yeah,
we could do
we'll have
that
to co-op
together.
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's hilarious. So,
Oh,
all right.
it's
Well,
just it's one of those games I chalk up to stupid fun, right?
gotcha.
It's just stupid fun. So it's yeah.
Exactly. Which we need a lot more in this world as stupid fun. So for you late arrivers, Canuck has come in to be my guest tonight. Excuse me. My original guest, a relative of mine, actually got um, really sick the other day and wasn't able to make it tonight. But we do have their picks, so we're going to have Canuck and his expertise on football, maybe from a Canadian perspective,
See, now
and we're going to
that's
have the
the official story. The unofficial story is that Dadman gave him some of his cooking, and now he is down with the stomach flu. And
Oh my gosh! Shh, we're supposed to keep that part quiet. Supposed to keep that part
because
quiet,
Miss
my friend.
Dadman wasn't around to cook, so
I
Dadman did,
know.
and well, sent the poor guy to the hospital, so I had to
Take
step in.
everybody out. Exactly. Well, thank you for everybody. We're going to go ahead and get going on this. So Canuck. That's a little bit about Canuck. We're going to talk to him a little bit about football as we go along in this show. If you have questions about football, please feel free to throw it in.
Don't ask
You know
me.
how to play, any rules, things like that. If you have observations about the games, feel free to jump in the chat, make comments about if you saw these games. Feel free to share with us. And Canuck, if you see some weird looking numbers, feel free to chat. Okay. Just throw
You
stuff
still
out
need
there
to
off the
explain to me
wall.
why you guys need a shorter field.
Why do we need a shorter game? Because they keep just trying to shorten our games. That's what's ridiculous. So, you know what I mean? So,
Just wait till they start saying that no more hits like they
yeah,
did to hockey.
exactly. And I want to not neglect the Twitch side. We got some people watching over on the Twitch side. Thank you over there on the Twitch side. If you put your comments in, I will see them and I will make sure we bring them up on the stream as needed, as a warrant within what we're doing here. But hey, thank you for everybody that's here. Yeah, and sit back with us, enjoy the ride, and I tell you, just like I said, feel free to comment. Ask questions. We love teaching football, and if you find weird numbers, things with our numbers, feel free and pine share with us. So, all right, well, let us go. With this trying to multitask, it never helps me. It's like a big waste of time me trying to trying to do more than one thing at a time. So I just want to make sure I don't forget the Twitch side, people, because hey, love you guys hanging out over there too. So don't want y'all forgotten. All right, because y'all comment on Twitch side, I will put it in the mainstream with it, so we'll see it from both sides as I bring up comments. So, all right, let's. We got 10 people watching. Wow, that's awesome. So let's go ahead and jump into the action here, shall we, folks? Hey, let's see. Oh gosh, Dadman's famous Gator liver plate. Yeah, a liver pie. Okay, well, wait till I tell you about what happened in Tennessee this week. And Spuddy says, try Deer Simulator, your average everyday deer game. Ah,
Well, isn't
good
your
evening,
team
Miss
Georgia?
Martin Muses. Mine's Florida. Good evening,
No,
Miss
no,
Martin
you like
Muses.
Georgia.
How are you tonight? No, I don't like Georgia. I got two rebellious kids, one in the other room and one that decided to go to Athens. It's like, yeah. But anyway, Miss Martin Muses, good to see you too. Thank you for being here. Share questions if you have about anything about football, anybody. It's this stupid. Thank you for finally popping up, StreamYard. This has been doing it. 11 of y'all here. Hey, love y'all. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe. We're on the march to 500. And for now, we're talking football. Any of your questions, and let's have fun talking about this game. But first of all, we are not a gambling site. If you do, it's your own fault. Don't trust me for anything gambling, whatever else. We're just a bunch of people having fun about talking about football. That's it. Chat, all of us over here. So, hey, that being said, let's jump into the game. I think the game of the week. Our friend O.C. Dobbins, who was our guest last week. Alabama falls at home in Tuscaloosa to Texas. The Longhorns win 34-24. Late rally during down the end. Texas takes the lead, pulls away, wins by 10. Texas put up almost 500 yards on Alabama, 350 through the air. And it held the ball for a little bit longer, 32 and a half to 27 and a half minutes against Alabama. When we look at the stats, Alabama still had 362 yards and 255 yards passing. But if you look at, we look at the stats individually, Quinn Evers for Texas was 24 of 38, throwing for 349 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jatavian Sanders for Texas had 5 catches for 114 yards. Alabama's starting quarterback, Jalen Milroe, 14 of 27, barely 50%, 255 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, which is always the key with him. It's going to be how can he throw? Ball protection is key. He also had 15 carries for 44 yards. Will Reichard, the Alabama kicker, made his only extra point, was 3 for 3 on field goals, and made one from 51 yards. So hey, look at this. Look at this, what Buddy said. This is a game we're going to have to try. You Suck at Parking comes out next week. That's going to be a good game. So
here's a stupid question. So
okay.
I know, like the NFL, the CFL, most average teams. So this would be what their second game, second game of the regular season.
This is second week. Yes, for most teams it's the second week.
Okay, so
some teams had a third game.
Are all the starters on the field right now, or do they have some of the non-starters playing still from preseason?
No. This is your best are on the field. In college, you do not have the preseason like the NFL. So when you start game one, like the
CFL and the NFL, even like your first 2 games of the official season, some of your starters still aren't on the field until your third, fourth game.
In college, it is the real thing from day one. You don't have a preseason exhibition season. So even if you're playing Sisters of the Mercy or or Stony Brook, you've got to, you lose that game, it counts against you. It's not a practice game. And Stunning and Brave comes in. Hey, Stunning. Good to see you tonight. This game was actually quite fun to watch. It was close for a while. Then like I said, Texas pulled away at the end. This has been a big game that people have watched for. Last year in Austin, Alabama struggled to win this game 20-19, and very late with a field goal. Quinn Ewers had a big game last year, but until he got hurt and knocked out of the game. Then when he got knocked out of the game, the backup came in, did okay, but not quite the same. Texas lost its rhythm. I think this could have been a big win for Texas last year with the way Alabama was being stymied on its offense. But, in that case, the loss of a quarterback did make a difference. And actually, this backup quarterback for Texas was also hobbling significantly in that game. So, this is a game rematch. Hey, but you know what? This game is a prelude of things to come. They actually had Matthew McConaughey on the sideline for Texas. Alabama had some of its stars. And next year, this might become a regular matchup, though, with Texas and Oklahoma now joining the Southeastern Conference. So, and rumors today, and OC Dobbins, if you're still lurking, I actually heard some out of this not sports animal out of Tennessee. Some people are starting to raise rumors that Nick Saban may be retiring soon. That he's not saying clearly, "I'm not retiring." He's kind of not saying it, but just pointing to strengths of the team and stuff like that. But I'm curious to know what the word on the street is for Alabama fans. So because that would be a market, that would be a significant changing of the guard, and then who would become the next Alabama coach? Many rumors abound about that, which could be a fun topic. So, OC Dobbins, yes, don't listen to Tennessee fans. Okay, I agree. I will. The only thing is when they pick on my Gator coach, basically to whether he can even coach, I kind of agree with them on that one. But I got you. I got you. I know. It's actually funny. I was listening to the story to the shows today, OC, and they talked about whether to beat Florida this week or if they take a win over Alabama, and apparently very clearly they'd rather beat Alabama than Florida. So that's a hilarious thing. And hey, it's one of our two resident Auburn fans here, Small Time Republic. All this talk of Alabama's run being over is hogwash. As long as they recruit at the level they have been, they'll be a contender every year. Yes, exactly. I think that happens so many times in sports. We try to put the big dogs down, and really they're not. I do think that this game helps show one of the weaknesses of Alabama is really it's a quarterback play. I mean, he was very inconsistent. He did not throw the ball well last year, barely 50% this time. Did throw for throw two picks. Yeah, it's going to be stability at quarterback position. I think with a team like Alabama, but yes, absolutely small time. Everybody's in a hurry to write some teams off and move on. That's why I brought up the story today that I heard some people are starting to push the rumors that maybe is Saban retiring. I think that could be a pipe dream too, trying to run him off. But we shall see. We shall see with that. All right. So with that, we have the Texas Alabama game. Really a highly anticipated game for this year. So and now with that, we shall move on, my friends, to the next game. We're going to have several paycheck games here that we're not going to spend a lot of time on. Arkansas beats Kent State at home 28-6. Really, just average stats throughout. The Arkansas's KJ Jefferson was 13 of 19 throwing for 136 yards, threw for 2 touchdowns, had 13 rushing attempts for 48 yards. AJ Green for Arkansas had 15 carries for 82 yards. Andrew Armstrong for Arkansas also had 4 catches, 21 yards, but he had 2 touchdowns, not long completions, receptions, but 2 of them for touchdowns. And Antonio Greer had a 25-yard interception return for a touchdown. So as Arkansas moves to 2-0 against Kent State. And hey, Canuck, you know what? For some reason, what popped in my mind with this game, and I don't know why, you guys in Canada have that 1 point thing with like that big wide ass end zone,
Yeah.
That's so cool that you can get the ball way back in there, and if they down it, it's a point, right?
Yeah. Well, what they normally do is, if it goes, I can't remember now if it's to avoid having what you guys have, which is when the kicker kicks the ball, the receiver receives it and then goes down to one knee,
right?
Instead of rushing out to it's a way to force that more, so you get more rushing than you do, like you get more
more returns. Yeah,
more
you
returns.
actually have more action
than the kicker kicking it into the end zone, the guy catching it and going down to one knee right away.
Or they just kick it through the end zone. Yeah,
or they kick it through the end zone. Yeah. So
I agree with you.
With us, you really your special teams are everything. If you don't have a good special teams, you're fucked.
Well, a lot of the
wait, can I swear yet?
Yeah, you can. We're far enough in. But listen, that's the thing, though. A lot of the American, whether it's NFL or colleges, a lot of the rules are being changed to try to cut down on return attempts, either moving the kick back or letting them fair catch and to get it, out not in the end zone. It's just But I like that whole concept, forcing a return or giving up the point, those type of things makes it different. So
well, the idea is it's a two-ended argument because
mhm,
as a fan, you want
mhm,
you want that guy to catch that ball and run like a son of a bitch.
right,
As a coach and as a person paying exorbitant amounts of money, I know that doesn't affect the college because college doesn't really pay that well.
mhm,
But in the NFL, CFL, NHL, etc., the chances of that player now getting injured
mhm,
goes up drastically the more times they're hit. So if they can put in a rule so that that player doesn't get hit,
yeah,
it's a little bit more reassuring. It sucks for us fans because us fans want to see that guy catch the ball and run like a
yeah,
son of a bitch and then
yeah,
get nailed. Whereas as the person who's paying that person, you really don't want them to get injured. So if you
yeah.
can finagle it so that that opportunity doesn't happen as often, then it works for you. It doesn't work for the fan though.
Hmm. Yeah. So, like Small Town Republic said here, that the NFL adopted the fair catch on kickoffs, placing it on the 25, and the
Yeah.
number of returns was way down last week. And see, I don't like that. I think some of the beauty of the game are those returns. They're exciting. Yeah, they're high energy, lots of collisions, and very violent. But still, it's part of the game that we've always had. And now college has done that for a couple of years with the waiving the fair catch. And yeah, I mean, they don't even have to kick it to the end zone. You can fair catch it. And I don't like, I don't know. I just don't like it. It's one of those things where we keep changing the rules to get the games faster or our
Or
safety. I mean,
yeah, but mainly it's well they could get injured, so
yeah,
let's not do that. And
I
it's
know.
just like they don't want hitting in hockey, because reasons.
Yeah, I know. Hey, it's part of the game. But hey, before long, we'll all have flag sports, flag football, flag baseball, flag hockey, or something. So, but yeah, good point there.
They have that. It's called
Small
ringettes.
town. Yeah. Well, let's move on to some more games, folks. We got the big West Coast game. Auburn went on the road to California. Auburn pulled this game out at near the end of the game with about 6.5 minutes left. With Peyton Thorne completed a 5-yard touchdown pass to Rivaldo Fairweather. I was watching this game. It was really quite interesting. It's boring as hell. As you can tell, with 12 first downs, 19 for Auburn, 19 for California. It just was like, just a bunch of meh. But then Auburn actually scored near the end. I think it was 10-7 at halftime, and that was the only score right in the second half is right near the end. So they I see Auburn only couldn't even throw for 100 yards, but they ran for 136 yards, 230 yards total offense. Cal had the ball for 10 more minutes than Auburn, but did not put the ball in the end zone enough, even though 19 first downs, a meager 273 yards. But the turnovers are a big story in this game. 4 for Auburn, 3 for California. It's like who doesn't want the ball? Who wants to give the ball away? It's just crazy. So Peyton Thorne for Auburn was 9 of 14 for 94 yards, 2 touchdown passes and an interception. Sam Jackson, the fifth for Cal, was 14 of 27 for 126 yards, but threw two interceptions. Yes, and as we mentioned, Rivaldo Fairweather, 3 interceptions, 39 yards, and a touchdown. And a small time Republic brings in Auburn's offense is bad. And also, note is Cal missed 3 field goals. Like, geez,
So is this a matter of two defensive teams going up against each other? Because that's usually what you get when you get like
No,
low scoring games.
honest,
Or is it just two shit teams going together?
I think that I think like a small time Republic said, and he's an Auburn fan, is their offense is bad. They don't have a good quarterback that you can
Because
rely on.
sometimes what happens is you get a defensive team, like a team that is major defense.
Yeah.
And if you get two defensive teams playing each other, they're
Yeah.
not structured for big scoring games. They're structured to stop the other opponent and march down the field.
Yeah.
Or you get in a low scoring game, you get two teams that really, are in the league because reasons.
No, here's the other way to answer. It's not only when small time says the offense is bad, the 3 missed field goals and 7 turnovers between the two teams.
Ouch.
That tells you it just was bad and brutal. And hello, B from O, good to see you. Who's also an Auburn fan, who actually, by the way, B from O will be the guest next Thursday night. He said that if that had been another SEC team, I hate to say it, but Auburn would have been absolutely been destroyed. But good to see you, B from O. I got to send some stuff to you hopefully tonight for next week. But hey, glad to have you in here with us too. But this really, it was not a bad game. I like watching the West Coast games. I like having football late at night, but it was one of those games that could put you to sleep. It just was just, very lackluster. And this was one of the 2 games that OC and I just disagreed on last week, and we'll see how that we turned out with that. And see, like, but Buddy says that Cal isn't very good. They only get up for a couple of teams. Stanford and UCLA rivalries, and you remember the old Cal Stanford game. People out there, you might not connect. It's the one where back 82, 83, John Elway was the quarterback for Stanford, and Cal got the ball on a kickoff on a squib kick and made like 12 laterals, and they ran the ball into the end zone and crushed the Stanford Sachs player. So,
I got a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Is the California team's cheerleaders just a bunch of dudes in skirts? I mean, sorry, moving on.
No, they're bears in skirts. How about that?
Okay, just as bad.
It'll be for Snorta Poopus there. But hey, folks, Auburn wins, so it's ugly, but it's a win. So hey, we move on. McNeese in Florida. As a Gator fan, I'm like, so what? I mean, this was a game I had on for like 5 minutes, watched a little bit in the first half, and then went to other games, quite honestly. Texas, Alabama was on. I mean, this is one of those games that you get mad if you lose and mad if they don't play well, but Florida was effective. Graham Mertz was 14-17 for 193 yards, a touchdown pass. Also ran for a touchdown. Ricky Pearsall had 6 catches for 123 yards and a touchdown. Montrell Johnson led the Gator running backs with 15 rushes for 119 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Gator running backs, including the quarterback, combined for a total of 6 rushing touchdowns. So, just looking at this offensive performance, Gators dominated, had time of position. And, yeah, like you said, B from OW is a W. But, they did what they had to do. Very dominating. McNeese did nothing with the ball. But then again, as a Gator fan, you said this is the way this type of paycheck game should be. But then it opens it up for this week with Tennessee coming to Gainesville. It's hard to tell a lot from a game like this. I still have reasons for worry, but we'll talk about that a little bit more. We'll move on here to Ball State at Georgia. We like saying Ball. So Georgia wins 45-3. Georgia struggles early in the game again, but they end up pulling away, with 386 yards of offense, 22 first downs. Pat Carson Beck threw for 283 yards out of Georgia's 287 yards. He was 23 of 30, 2 touchdowns, and yet another pick. Peyton Woodring for Georgia, the kicker, 6 of 6 on his extra points, 1 of 2 of field goals, 35 yards. He nailed it from. Matt Muse got the Georgia scoring going in the second quarter. This game was tight for quite a while with a 69-yard punt return for a touchdown. At that point, the game was tied at 0-0. So another sleepwalking performance a little bit for Georgia.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is Ball State any good?
Not really.
Okay, so then here's my problem. If I'm a Georgia fan, I'm concerned. So the reason I'm saying that is Georgia is the returning champions, are they not?
Back-to-back champions. They're going for 3-peat.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So we're going up against a team that is basically, this should be walk on the field, walk off the field. Thank you very much. Have a good day. And you're telling me that they don't score till the second quarter?
Mm-hmm. No.
That is a Georgia fan. I'm going, what the fuck?
Right. And there are some Georgia fans that,
if you're not, I'm sorry, but if you're the returning champs and you're going up against a team that, let's face it, should be a punch ticket and go.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not scoring to the second freaking quarter, you're either slapping your quarterback upside the head and saying, "Get your ass in the game,"
mm-hmm.
or because if they're struggling to score against a team that is bottom of the rankings here,
Mm-hmm. Well,
that doesn't spell good for your Georgia team.
Right. And there are Georgia fans that I know that are nervous right now because one of the things that have, and you got to keep in mind, they're back-to-back national champions, but they are having to replace their starting quarterback. Stetson Bennett, who is in the NFL. Carson Beck is a junior. He's been in the program 3 years, but he's never had extended playing time in meaningful games. But watching him, he's really looked off early in these games against these weaker teams. So
that's where I would worry.
There is room for concern with some of these.
If I'm looking at this, because I'm looking at it like first or second play, there should have been a score of some sort. If you're going up against the first half, there should have been something. Yep. If you're having to wait for the second quarter before your offense kicks into gear against a team that is basically there because they have to be, you have some problems.
Nope, I do agree. They do look a little vulnerable, but I will tell you, and I will warn you though, this Georgia team in the last couple of years has games like that. They look like that they could be had. They look vulnerable, but when they play the big teams, the big rivals, they step up.
Yeah.
So and there's something called as playing down to your competition also.
Yeah.
But I think a little bit of that, going through the motions, and you've got a new quarterback that you're working in. I mean, I wouldn't be worried. They're going to get a tough test this week with South Carolina coming to town, who has its own issues, but they have a quarterback that can get hot and throw the ball around at times. So that's where we got with Georgia. We're going to Eastern Kentucky. This game was a tight one. Eastern Kentucky is from one of the smaller conferences, FCS, but Kentucky struggles to win at home by 11 points. Kentucky put up 400 yards of offense to Eastern Kentucky's 300. Eastern Kentucky threw the ball for over 200 yards, though. And a change of fortune, Kentucky's actually got a quarterback that can throw the ball. Devin Leary was 24-38 for 299 yards. He did throw for 4 touchdowns but 1 interception. Tavion Robinson for Kentucky had 6 catches for 136 yards and 2 touchdowns. Barian Brown had one of the other touchdowns for Kentucky. And Parker McKinney for Eastern Kentucky was 19-29 for 219 yards with a touchdown and an interception. Actually, it was Eastern Kentucky. This was a paycheck game that was actually kind of competitive for once. So, Big Blue, are you worried? Maybe playing a game like that at home might be a reason to worry for Big Blue. But offensively, they put up some numbers, but Eastern Kentucky did keep the game close. So this game will go through real quick. LSU rebounded from the loss to FSU. Joseph Dredd is right, because that was a problem, I think, from NC State. His days at NC State was that he was hurt one season, and I think not last year, the year before, he got injured about partial way through the season and missed the remainder of the year. Yeah, Joseph Dredd, that's going to be a key for that team. He is their only quarterback, really, and Kentucky as an offense struggled last year with Will Levis and his health. You've got to have a quarterback that can stay healthy in the game and throughout the season. So, and as you mentioned, that some quarterbacks have that problem. They have a problem with the injury bug. So they're very frail or paper, But yeah, it was a interesting game there. So we'll see how long he stays healthy this year for Kentucky, because their fate rides on him. They do not have Chris Rodriguez, but they do have Ray Davis, who transferred in from Vanderbilt in the running department. LSU rebounds. There's not much. You can see the numbers. Complete domination, 33 minutes to 26, 34-16 on first downs, 600 yards to 320 yards. Jaden Daniels was 18 of 24 for 269 yards, 5 touchdowns through the air. Logan Diggs had 15 carries for 115 yards and a touchdown. Miles Crawley for Grambling was 14 to 25 for 148 yards and a touchdown and a pick for Grambling. Not bad numbers in a paycheck game. And Chance Williams for Grambling had 7 carries for 106 yards. Both pretty reasonable, pretty neat numbers for players in the paycheck game. I got another game of the week that a lot of people were looking forward to. It was Ole Miss at Tulane. Ole Miss uses a late fumble return from Jared Ivey to extend the lead to put it to the final margin, but the game was a little bit closer than the score indicates. Again, looks like Ole Miss is more of a passing team this year. Last year they were all over the place. Some games more rushing, more passing. This year, so far in the 2 games they played, it's been heavily dominated through the air. Jackson Dart was 17 of 27 for 267 yards. He had 2 touchdowns and a pick through the air, but he also carried the ball 14 times for 41 yards. Dayton Wade for Ole Miss had 7 catches for 106 yards. Kai Horton for Tulane was 15 of 37, 231 yards, and a touchdown and an interception through the air. And as I mentioned, Jared Ivey had the fumble return for the touchdown. Tulane had the ball 10 minutes more than Ole Miss, but the turnovers 2-1. Tulane factored into the win. Ole Miss improves to 2-0. You know, another out of conference game, not necessarily the strongest matchup, but it was a respectable matchup with Tulane being ranked in the top 25 with this one. So unlike Florida McNeese and some of the others that we have seen are Grambling and playing LSU. So, hey. Oh, Snortopoopas. Okay. Hey, good to see you, sir. Must leave you now as the goddess Snooze has watered my Betty Bear eyes and must close them. Have fun with footy balls. We'll do that. Exactly. This game stayed close till the end. The score is deceiving many times in some of these games, and this is one of those games where the final score did not indicate how competitive the game was. We got a game that should not have been this close, but Mississippi State, the Bulldogs hold on at home in overtime. They had a lead in this game, but had to rally in overtime to win this game 31-24 over Arizona. Arizona outgained Mississippi State 430 yards to 307 yards. I'm laughing because, when you look at these numbers, this is definitely not a normal Mississippi State team. Will Rogers with 13 of 17 for 162 yards. Jacavius Marks ran the ball 24 times for 123 yards, a touchdown. He also had 4 catches for 32 yards. That is not your normal Mississippi State offense that have been under Mike Leach in the recent years. Now with the new coach, after Mike Leach's passing, I'm laughing because I sit there and see that Mississippi State had almost as many running yards as it did passing yards. I just, especially with Will Rogers, who's known for throwing the ball everywhere, it's just quite stunning to see those numbers of that. Arizona was led by Jaden Delora at quarterback. He was 32 of 46, passing for 342 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 4 interceptions. Had 8 carries for 44 yards and a touchdown. Tetora McMillan for Arizona had 8 catches for 161 yards and a touchdown. But again, 4 interceptions, 5 total team turnovers for Arizona, only 1 for Mississippi State. Tail of the game, and it still went to overtime. Mississippi State had to go to overtime to win this game, which now does not look good because a lot of my picks this year have been based on the team being a little bit better than that. And now I'm a little concerned, folks, but we shall see. What I picked this week, I don't know. But these numbers did not look good for Mississippi State. Of course, could they be looking ahead to next week's game, which we'll preview in just a moment? This should have been a paycheck game, my friends. Missouri should have won this game handily, but no, they struggled to a 23-19 win over Middle Tennessee. 20 21 first downs to 16 for Middle Tennessee. Time of possession about 4 minutes difference. Really, numbers are fairly odd. No turnovers in this. Brady Cook from Missouri was 14 of 19 for 204 yards, 2 touchdowns. Luther Burden III from Missouri had 8 catches for 117 yards. Nicholas Vatatayo from Middle Tennessee was 22 of 36 for 214 yards, 2 touchdowns, had 13 carries and 34 yards. Cody Schrader carried the ball 23 times for 84 yards. So Missouri in another game struggles at home with an inferior opponent, but enough to win. So, oh, man, all I know is the Gators struggle when they play Missouri on the road or at home. Furman actually played a fairly respectable game at South Carolina. South Carolina wins 47-21. You see, South Carolina amassed almost 600 yards of offense, 470 yards through the air, and both teams had 1 turnover. Spencer Rattler for the Gamecocks was 25 of 27, only 2 incompletions, 345 yards, 3 touchdowns, had 3 carries at 8 yards, but he had a touchdown running. Xavier Leggett for South Carolina had 6 catches for 118 yards and a touchdown. Eddie Lewis, 6 catches, 89 yards, and Tyler Huff for Furman was 14 of 24, 129 yards and a touchdown and an interception. So this game was closer than it probably should have been, but Connect, like you said, with Georgia being at home this week, with South Carolina coming to town, what I'll talk about a little bit more in just a moment when we talk about the games for this week, but which Spencer Rattler shows up? The Spencer Rattler that played North Carolina and, would say lose by 14, or this Spencer Rattler here that only throws 2 incompletes but 3 touchdowns. So we got 8. Let's see. Austin P, Tennessee. Hey, and we got 8 people. Thank y'all all here watching for us tonight and appreciate you being here. If y'all have any comments about the game, feel free to chime in there. What did you see? What did you observe? You got questions about football? This week, listening to Sports Animal out of Knoxville, there's a lot of angst up there this week as a result of this game. Tennessee struggles to beat Austin Peay 30-13. As you can see, Austin Peay gets more first downs. Actually held the ball a lot longer than Tennessee did. Then a balanced attack for Tennessee. Joe Milton was 21 of 33 for 228 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air. But Mike DeLallo for Austin Peay was 29 of 39 for 260 yards with a touchdown and a pick. Jalen Wright for Tennessee had 13 carries for 118 yards, while Romel Caton for Tennessee had 5 catches, 52 yards, and a touchdown. This is another one of those paycheck games, Canuck, that should not be that close, but sometimes that happens when you got a big game the next week. You're looking ahead and the team doesn't perform as much. So,
if everybody's a fan of my karaoke show, we'll all remember when Dadman professed his love to Tennessee and sang the song. So,
yeah, I did it. It was part of a Florida victory because I felt good about it. Hey, I got something about that in a minute, but hey, we'll hold off on that till we preview the Florida Tennessee game coming up, my friend.
That's okay. So just so you know,
yeah.
I'm being sneaky, and while we're talking, I'm working on something that I want you to debut at the end of the show.
Oh boy. Okay.
So I'm going to multitask, and I'm going to have to get you put your email in the private chat because I'm going to send it to you when it's done. But
okay,
I'll get you to upload it to StreamYards. You know how to do that?
It's always dangerous when I try to upload to StreamYards.
Oh, it's easy. It's just a clip. I'll walk you through it when it comes to it. Okay.
All right. Guys. Tennessee is the only 10 Dadman sees. Yes.
Yeah. It was funny because I can't remember. I think you lost a bet or something.
No, anyway. I actually decided to do it because Florida won.
Oh yeah,
because
because Florida
yeah,
won. Yeah. So
only
I
because Tennessee would annoy me so much. So I said, you know what, and I tell you, part of it was you were so good about it, and you were hoping Tennessee would win and all. I just had to do it just for the fun of it, just to
yeah, we it was a good night. It was a good night. Ribbing by
exactly,
all. If you can't rib your friends, who can you rib?
exactly.
And if you're not a wrestling fan, you won't get that reference, but that's okay.
Oh, I thought you were talking about McDonald's McRib. So
No,
anyway,
no. When you prank somebody in the wrestling world, it's called a rib. So
okay.
yeah,
Ow. All right. Well, hey, another big game. SEC steps out to the ACC and gets beat again, folks. That has led to some discussion this week. Is the SEC down this year? South Carolina loses to North Carolina last week. Uh, Texas A&M loses to Miami. LSU loses to Florida State again. I mean, it's there's talk out there. Even though Miami had fewer first downs than Texas A&M, they had bigger plays. Um, Very balanced offensive output, both teams, and through the air. Though Texas A&M with 3 costly turnovers to lose this game. Tyler Van Dyke for Miami was 21 to 30, 374 yards, 5 touchdowns. Connor Weigman for A&M was 31 to 53, 336 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 2 picks. He had 5 carries for 29 yards and a touchdown. Xavier Restrepo for Miami had 6 catches for 126 yards. He's one that really stretched the field, had a lot of speed, had some big plays. But Evan Stewart for A&M had 11 catches for 142 yards. This was a game that started off kind of slow. Then it looked like A&M was going to pull away from Miami early because of some Miami miscues. And then we'd see what happened. That Miami just pulled away ahead of A&M, which is a surprise that A&M did not play defense as well as they're known for. A&M's looking better with offensive production and more points, and they look better watching them in the game. But and Joseph Dredd has said something right here, and this is a point that I've already been saying for a few weeks, and actually even near the end of last season, and definitely in my preview show for this season. I'm not surprised, and I will tell you, if for no other reason but what they paid the man. It's between buying out the Kevin Sumlin's contract, all the money that took, plus hiring Jimbo away from FSU and what that took, and any buyouts from to FSU. You don't pay a head coach to come over to keep finishing middle of the pack or not winning an SEC championship. You're paying somebody to deliver at those kind of costs. And so I'm not surprised to hear the firing talk already. I'm surprised it hasn't been before now. Last year with all the injuries, you had the loss of the locker room issues. I mean, just so many different things, and you got to have an unhappy fan base, especially boosters who have all the money, considering his record, I think after 33 games was the same as Kevin Sumlin's, or one game worse, who they had paid to get rid of. So it is interesting to hear. I will tell you a lot that I'm not a fan of Jimbo, and I don't really. And Joseph Dredd, I'm curious to see what you think. Is that a comment that do you agree with the fans? Do you have an opinion? Because I think in their case, this is one that is probably well deserved. Maybe I'm already down on Billy Napier at Florida, but people keep telling me to have patience. So I'm willing to say that maybe I am a little too premature with it, possibly. But in Jimbo's case, considering the factors, the money they paid him, and everything else, you wonder, does he deserve it? Yeah, exactly. He's underperformed at TAMU. Exactly. And you pay people that money to deliver. You don't pay them to just give you middle of the pack results in the conference. You're paying to get to the SEC championship game and hopefully even further than that. So, and beat Alabama. Imagine if he had not beaten Alabama at one time. Was it 2 years ago? That might have things might have been a lot hotter now with that then. So, all right, great. Love the A&M talk because I hate A&M. Florida does go to play, I think, Texas A&M later this year, I believe, at some point. But come on, this stupid thing has been killing me for a while. There we go. All right, another case where the SEC loses to the ACC. Vanderbilt falls at Wake Forest 36-20. Wake Forest, both decent numbers for both teams offensively. If you look at it, over 400 yards total. Wake did more of their damage on the ground at almost 300 yards, while Vanderbilt passed for over 300 yards. Mitch Griffiths for Wake Forest was 17-26 for 196 yards, 2 touchdowns. Two different Wake Forest running backs each gained over 100 yards on the ground. Damon Claiborne for 165 yards, Tate Carney 117 yards. A.J. Swan for Vandy was 26-39 through the air, 314 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 picks. London Humphreys for Vanderbilt had 4 catches for 109 yards and a touchdown. So I think it's interesting to see Vanderbilt more effective throwing the ball, but then again, with A.J. Swan being more of a passing quarterback than a running quarterback, it's not unexpected to see what we have here. Okay, so, all right. So with that, we will look at something. So Canuck, I know you're multitasking.
Yeah, sorry, I had to mute. I had music playing in the background.
I agree.
Or when you were talking.
Oh, I know. I appreciate it. But hey, because always multitasking. So, it's pretty interesting weeks of games in here. And I know we talked some CFL. So, what about football do you like? For people that didn't hear us when we talked last year, what's the beauty of football to you? Because this is kind of the section we're going to have some general football talk. What do you like about it? What do you not like? What do you see as trends? Whether it's American, Canadian, whatever.
For me, I'm more CFL than I ever was NFL. My son, on the other hand, one of these days when he's back in town, I'm going to have to line it up that my son comes and talks to you on one of these shows because my son lives and breathes football.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Stats, who's going where, what, where, when, and why. The only thing is you don't insult the Baltimore Ravens or you and my son will have a problem.
Yes.
Because he's a Ravens fan. So,
yeah, I bet.
And let me tell you, buying that kid Christmas presents and trying to find Baltimore Raven insignia hats and shit when you live in Canada is a pain in the ass. Anyway, moving on. But I'm more CFL. As you can probably tell by my avatar, I have the Calgary Stampeders emblem up. It's mine. They've sucked for the last 3 years under Dickinson. It kind of pisses me off. He should have done better, but he's just, I don't know. Some quarterbacks just don't make good coaches, and I'm sorry, Dickinson's got to go. But overall, I like football because, the one pet peeve I have with hockey is you get into the playoffs. It's still 3 months. Oh, it feels like it. Best of 7. What the best of 7? You're sitting there for like a month playing out a game because your team wins, team loses, team wins 3 in a row, then loses 4 in a row. Football, it's always been more sudden death, right? You go into it's one game. If you win, you win. You lose, you lose. That's it. There's no, well, we'll get them next time. That's it.
Like a Florida Gator fan with Georgia. Wait till next year.
Yeah. That was the Bombers up until these last couple of years, although they lost last year, which made me laugh. But so for me, it's a contact sport. It's great, but my era is pretty much long gone because I like the big bruisers, just like in hockey. Like I like the Chara, and for hockey I like Chara, Bufflin, the guys that they're on the ice, somebody's going into the boards, and it's not going to be fun. Same with on the field. Like my teams have always been in the NFL, the Eagles and the Raiders. The Raiders now are nowhere near what they used to be to what I used to cheer for, because I used to cheer for the Raiders when they had a defensive line that was basically a brick wall. They had like 2,000 pounds of beef sitting on the defensive line. They weren't good for offense, but their defense would kill you.
It was all nasty. I mean, it really was
Yeah.
hard
The
hitting.
Raiders were bad boys back in the day. But
Mm-hmm.
you can't be that anymore. The game has, as they say, evolved, and
Yeah.
I'm not so sure I like the evolution. I think they need to de-evolve a little bit. Um,
Oh
so
yeah. I've had that talk with Clobbering times before when we talked about
for
it here.
me, like, because I love the old, you could hear the hit, right? And I mean, in some ways, I like some of the new stuff. Like, I like the fact that they're protecting the quarterback more than what they used to. Because the quarterback always has a target on his back, always.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the fact that they're protecting him more. I do think it opens up for some pretty lame ass roughing the passer calls. I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
have roughing the passer, but we
Oh yeah,
do.
we got it.
And some of them are just fucking lame. Like,
Yeah, it
like
happens in
them,
American football
some of
all the
them are
time. Yeah.
just, are you fucking kidding me? But at the same time, you need him protected, right? Because you only
Mm-hmm.
have him and the backup. Maybe if you're lucky and your team has enough money, you've got the third string.
Mm-hmm.
But most teams, you have your starter and your backup, and that's it. And if those two go down, you're fucked.
Yeah.
So protecting the quarterback, I like that part of the modern game. I do say it does open up for some bullshit roughing the passer plays. But at the same time, it's for a better cause. I don't
Mm-hmm.
like how the game has gotten to, like, even just in my lifetime. I remember when a guy would get a ball and he would run that son bitch and he would just drop his shoulder and go as far as he could. And
Mm-hmm.
now you find that they get the ball and they're immediately heading towards that sideline as
Yeah.
fast as they possibly can get there. Right. Whereas, the players I grew up with, they drop their shoulder and, I'm going for that first down, whether you like it or
Well,
not.
mm-hmm.
And,
There are two plays that I've seen recently. There's one where the punt returner runs backwards instead of forwards, after getting the ball, sometimes going almost into the end zone. And I saw one in a game the other night where the receiver caught the ball at the first down marker, then runs backwards to try to fake everybody out and lost the first down. By
yeah,
giving up
because he's
ground.
an idiot.
Yeah.
Like when
Hey.
I used to, I didn't professionally, but I've been tutoring my son in football since since he just said, "Dad, I want to play football." And
Mm-hmm.
I'd run drills with him and everything else when I still could.
Yes.
And I always taught him, I says, the main things I taught him, because he wanted to be a receiver, but he makes a better quarterback, and he'll kill me for saying that, but it's true.
Mm-hmm.
I taught him a simple rule. Don't go, the quarterback is not always going to throw to you. Learn to go get it. Don't
Right.
be one of these dumbasses that unless it's thrown to your numbers, you can't catch the ball.
Yeah. You go
And I
attack the
see
ball.
that right across NFL, CFL, doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of that now where if it's not right on the numbers,
Mm-hmm.
these guys can't catch the fucking ball because they don't go get it.
Nope.
A lot of them will not go get the damn ball. And I told my son that, I says, be where the quarterback needs you, not where you are.
Mm-hmm.
If the quarterback's getting rushed and he throws that ball up, he's throwing that ball up in the with the understanding that his receivers are going to rush to it and get it. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what if he's 10 yards off your thing? You tell me you're fast. Well, prove it. Get to the fucking ball.
Mm-hmm. No, and
And
you had to go attack the ball too. You can't
yeah,
be
like,
passive. You've
get
got
the
to go get.
fucking ball.
Yeah.
But I I'm more of an aggressive,
Yeah.
get the hell down the field type of person. But
I don't blame you. I'd be too. So let me say hell to JT Kirk, y'all. Thank you. We got like 11 people. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We only had like about 6 likes, so make sure you smash that like button because I forget half the time myself. Actually, we got 11 here watching with us. Thank you. Follow us on the Twitch side. Subscribe here on the YouTube side, I got the Great Rambling Canuck. And see, Canuck, you're always like, what can we talk about? I don't know, Cosmo. But see, this is part of the show, is the parts where we can talk about football in general. Because I know a lot of the observations you have are some of the observations I have or others have, and stuff like that.
Okay,
And
so I
small,
have I have a silly question. What is the
okay,
official name of this show?
it's the I got it somewhere. 2023 SEC Weekly with Dadman.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I just add on whoever the guests are at the end. So one that we got here is Small Town Republic. A&M would owe Fisher $76.8 million if they fire him at the season. That contract is absurd. All these contracts are getting absurd. That was probably the most of the ridiculous. But also, if you let's see, what I'm going to try to do. They also had to buy out Kevin Sumlin's contract too. So don't forget, any other buyout now would be on top of the money that they paid Jimbo, and that they had to pay Kevin Sumlin to go away for after he was fired. So okay, looking at a quick search, it looks like back in 2017, it looked like about $10 million buyout, which sadly to say does not seem too unreasonable by these standards these days, but still. Oh gosh, wait. JT said, wait, I thought this was the Venmo JT Kirk $10 million show, Drats. All right, but hey. But yeah, these contracts are something else. The money's in the game, and that's another thing that has really changed so much of this that we do these days, how we watch and everything. All right, well, let's go ahead. We're going to move on, keep moving with the show. We're going to look at the results with the top 25 that came out as a result of this week's action. In the AP poll by the sports writers, Georgia still is well on top with Michigan behind them. Georgia has 52 of the first place votes. Texas jumps up in the top 5. Florida State jumps up in the top 5 also by virtue of their big wins. Florida State's win, they beat Southern Miss this week. Texas upset Alabama on the road. Followed by USC, Ohio State, Penn State. Quite a few Big Ten, Pac-12 teams in here. Of course, everybody's favorite Notre Dame is 9th. And then Tennessee and Alabama and Tennessee are 10th and 11th, respectively, coming in this week. The SEC puts 5 teams into the top 25 this week, which is down from 6 that they had been. A&M falls out, obviously. Looking at it, we got plenty of Pac-10, Big 12 teams. Oregon State, go Beavers. They're up to 16. And Ole Miss moved up 3 spots to 17. So, folks, that's kind of what's happened. A lot of similarity. Iowa's back in the top 25. My gosh, folks, Iowa in the top 25. I guess they're actually scoring points this year, which is kind of unique for them. Miami also makes a debut at 22 after its upset win over Texas A&M. Washington State, who beat Wisconsin last week, also enters, and UCLA also makes its debut in the top 25. Let's see. Joseph Dredd says Matt Rule is getting $74 million over 8 years at Nebraska. Wow. That is a whole topic of itself. Coach contracts, NIL, conference realignment. We've touched on conference realignment a lot about, but man, these coaching contracts and the NIL could be really different things. And Buddy says college Division I is really semi-pro football. Well, really now, considering the NIL that they can make money off their images and stuff, yeah, it kind of is semi-pro ball. Oh, you don't have a true minor league. Hey, Canuck, I do have a question for you. Because of structure. I think we talked about this on the last time we were here. Because Buddy, and I'm going to go back to Buddy's comment right here about college Division I is really semi-pro ball. Now, we don't really have, quote, in baseball, we have like the minor leagues that lead, in hockey, also have like these minor leagues where they're professionals, but they're not in college, and then they lead to the higher pro leagues. Now, but the college doesn't. Now, do y'all have a training? Does the Canadian Football league work with like a minor league development, like in football, like where they're professionals or where they're paid?
Yeah, yeah. We have university football,
But
and
yeah,
yeah, but we have it too. Which just ours isn't. Our university football isn't as followed. It's not like it's not televised. It's not as big as college football is in the United States.
mhm,
I guess would be the way to put it. I think you'd get more coverage of the minor leagues in hockey than you would the minor leagues of football.
right,
It
right.
just kind of goes with the territory.
Mm.
We're
But
more
in
hockey
in
centric.
in the Canadian league though, is it all university or do you have like pro leagues
Um,
for football?
Not really. I
Okay.
mean, if you're in the private area, like for my son,
Hmm.
there are different teams. Like we have, there are different minor leagues per se, but they're not as advertised as your college football is.
Uh-huh.
So where, um, yeah, it's just not as followed. Like your average Joe wouldn't know what the college team is unless they're in the major city or happen to hear about them. Like we have the Manitoba Bison, that's the University of Manitoba, that's their team, and they go
Hmm.
across Canada, and then they face like Montreal and yada yada yada. But um, it's not a big draw as it is in the States.
Okay. Okay. I just was curious how it compared up there compared to what we have here. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, thanks for chiming in with that. And now we'll move over to the coaches poll, which has a lot of the same teams. Still five SEC teams. Ole Miss at the bottom of the SEC representation. Georgia still 64 of the 65 first place votes. Michigan is the other first place vote number in second position. FSU is third. Texas only move up to six in this poll, and Tennessee and Alabama round out the top 10. We got Notre Dame at 11. LSU's at 14. The Beavers are 17th in this poll, moving up one spot. And then we got Ole Miss at 19th. And then Miami, Iowa, and UCLA debut in this poll. Colorado moved up four spots. So, but Clemson is still in the top 25 in this poll. So go figure. So, folks, that is where we set with the polls that are here with this. So now we will go and we will take a look at this week's games. We will spend a little bit of time on a few of them, and some more than others. Alabama plays at South Florida. Really should not be a question in this case. Not really a paycheck game per se, because South Florida is a larger Division I team, but still should be. I'd probably be able to pick up tickets in Tampa, I would imagine, with that game. BYU travels to Fayetteville to play the Pigs. Could be interesting with this game. BYU, you know, what are they passing, running? Who knows? But Arkansas's 2-0, looking to move up to 3-0 with a third non-conference win. Playing at home, Samford is at Auburn, another game that really should be, easy for Auburn to take this one on that. Arkansas could struggle with BYU. Who knows? It depends on how this game prevails, because BYU also a few years ago went on the road and beat Tennessee in Knoxville. So always a dangerous team playing BYU, even cross country, even at home. Two games of the week coming up. I'm going to skip those for a second. Akron plays at Kentucky. That should be a paycheck game. And who knows, will Akron push Kentucky like Eastern Kentucky did this week? Also, Georgia Tech plays at Ole Miss, another ACC SEC matchup. The battle in Starkville. LSU plays at Mississippi State. This is a game of significance in the SEC West, because LSU need to get off a good start. Mississippi State, if they would like to even challenge for the West title, have got to start beating some of the bigger teams, the better teams in the West. As I said, they were 0-4 against four big teams last year. Alabama, LSU. um, and the others. So they play this game at Starkville. Yeah, will the cowbells be effective? Which LSU team will show up? The one that fell apart at the end of the game against FSU, or who knows? And which Mississippi State offense will we see? A passing offense, running offense, or just very vanilla? So it could be a good game in Starkville. Will the crowd make a difference? If Mississippi State's going to pull this game off, they're going to have good crowd support, which means keep the game low scoring and keep it close, and give yourself a chance in the fourth quarter. Kansas State goes on the road to play at Missouri. We got the Tigers are at home with this game after struggling in the Middle Tennessee, but Kansas State comes on the road for the Big 12, looking to take another shot at an SEC team. And Missouri, can they beat a legitimate team? That's always a question. Will they struggle last week? Who knows? That's why we call them misery around here. Louisiana Monroe plays at Texas A&M, and that which should be an easy game for A&M to get healthy on. Then Vanderbilt goes out west. Vanderbilt goes to play at UNLV. Who knows with this game? You never know. Interesting to see. Vanderbilt last year went to Hawaii. Now this year they go to UNLV out to Las Vegas. So should be an interesting game with Vanderbilt on the road. So, and yes, I said Vanderbilt. So let me backtrack. So we come back to the two big games of the week. So let me hit a couple things. JT Kirk says, I'm rooting for Arkansas versus BYU. Yes. Yeah. And in small time, Terry Bowden coaches ULM. He coached Jimbo Fisher at Samford. Yeah, I remember Terry Bowden when he coached at Samford. Hell, I remember when Terry Bowden was an Auburn coach, actually. I actually saw them play in Gainesville once with him. He was coaching. But yeah, it's interesting to see the battle of the coaches. We always see it with Saban and his former assistants, and former players come back to coach against him. So how that goes, it's really interesting. Only in the recent years have his assistants start beating Nick Saban. So now the two games that I've stopped this week. We'll take a look at here. South Carolina and Georgia. Ramblin', I don't know if you know anything about these games, so I'm just going to kind of monologue unless you have anything to throw in here. You guys in the chat, if you have thoughts about these games, feel free to share them. South Carolina plays at Georgia. This is a 3:30 CBS game. South Carolina goes on the road with high hopes, entering the season for a lot. Dropped the game at in the neutral site against North Carolina. Very, very meh. Really just a 31-17 loss. Rebounded last week against Furman, but it really comes down to what quarterback shows up. Will Spencer Rattler be the quarterback that throws for 3 to 5 touchdowns and 400 yards, or is he going to be just throw for 250, 300 yards, but no touchdowns, maybe throw several interceptions? While the Georgia Bulldogs, playing a serious team at home for the first time. This will be Georgia's third home game in a row, but the first game against a real opponent. How will Carson Beck do? Now that if he struggled some against weaker teams, weaker opponents at times, how will we do against a much better defensive team in South Carolina, the team that shut Tennessee down last year? The game is in Athens. That does say something for Georgia. It's going to come down to quarterback play. So, and we will pick in just a minute. I will show the picks in just a minute, but those are just some of the keys of the game that I have. Because it comes down to game of the quarterbacks. Will Spencer Rattler take advantage of the Georgia defense, find weaknesses or not? And then will Carson Beck, not turn the ball over? Will he be more productive than he has been in against earlier out of the gate, versus this continued slow starts? So I love what to see. Yes. JT Kirk says, go Gators, go Gamecocks. There you go.
Okay, just give me 2 minutes. I just gotta mute up for 2 minutes, and then I'll give you my picks.
Okay. Well, okay, we'll do that. I'm going to show the pick. I'm going to actually finish the Tennessee, Florida, and then I'm going to do the picks, and I'm going to show my friends' picks too. So we will
Sounds
go
good.
here. All right, 2 minutes. So I will talk about Tennessee, Florida in this case. All right, the game of the week. This is the one where my original guest was coming in for was a Florida Gator fan, season ticket holder, all that stuff. So, but listen, folks, this is a classic matchup. Two teams that hate each other in the Southeastern Conference and the Eastern Division. Florida has dominated the series in the last 25 years, even winning many games that they should not have. A 10-7 boring fest with a quarterback that couldn't hit the broadside of a barn and a kicker that couldn't kick a field goal but nailed one from 55 yards in a 10-7 win up in Knoxville. Philip Franks throws a 75-yard pass in the air into the end zone on the last play of the game to win against Tennessee. Another 4th and 15, Florida with Will Greer converts a pass to Antonio Callaway, who takes the ball, makes a spin move, runs in for a touchdown, and then Tennessee misses the game-winning field goal. Now, last year, Tennessee wins this game at home, but it was closer than it should have been at 38-33 because Tennessee really dominated that game. You don't have Anthony Richardson any longer at the University of Florida. You got a Wisconsin quarterback, Graham Mertz. And I do not like Wisconsin quarterbacks. But hey, it's going to come down to what can Rocky Top do on the road. Joe Milton goes into Gainesville. Tennessee's developed a running game. As you can see with the stats this week and even the prior week, they have developed a depth at running back and an ability to run the ball. Florida has deep running backs, but did not run the ball well at Utah earlier this year. And in this series, one of the key factors has always been who runs the ball better. The team that usually runs the ball the most and the most effective is usually the team that wins this game. So, Tennessee has been looking forward to this game a long time. The fans are. It's even Gator Hater Week up there, where they're actually serving some of the gator tail in some of the restaurants and stuff like that, specifically as a promo. So, there you go. That's how it's been. That's what we're looking forward towards on Saturday, 7:00. Please, I was reading Small Time Republics, please, but yeah, 7:00 Saturday night, Tennessee at Florida, and we will see. It will depend. Tennessee has got to win this game if they want to challenge Georgia for the Eastern title. You can't lose a game like this, even though it's on the road. Florida, if they want to finish higher in the division, would be a nice win if they could somehow pull it off. All right. Kanak, are you ready? There's our games, my friends. So, hey.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get into the picks part of it. Okay. So what we're going to do here is my guest that was scheduled to come on gave me their picks. So we're going to see their picks. We're going to ask Ant Ramblin who he'd take, and then I will give my pick.
Doing that, I'm just going to do something real quick. It'll take 30 seconds. I just got to listen to something.
All right, go ahead. And I'm going to go ahead and show the first pick here. Before I do that, hey, OC Dobbins was 12-2 last week. I was 12-2 last week. We only had two games that we disagreed on, and they were the Alabama-Texas game and the Auburn-Cal game, and we split those. I took Texas. He took Alabama. I won that one. He won by taking Alabama over Cal. So there we go. We are at overall 24-4 for me and 19-9 for the guests that are here. All right. So as we go, we will remind you that this is not for gambling. We're just talking football and having some fun. Just have some fun. Yay. Hey, good job, OC. Nice week, my friend. All right, so no gambling. We're just having fun with all this. We're not doing points. We're just doing straight up picks also. So, hey, first game, Alabama is at South Florida. Mike Anthony said take Alabama, and I actually agree with that. The Tide should roll at South Florida, get healthy this week against the Bulls. So,
all right. Okay.
Yes,
I agree. Alabama all the way.
All right. So we're all together on that one. So Uh-oh. Wait, what?
I no, I won't. I was gonna order something, but that's fine. Okay.
Are you good? I
So
forgot. I
in a
forgot.
couple of minutes, I'm gonna be sending you something, just so you know.
Okay. Well, we're getting down towards the end here, and there's our graphic announce. Grambling takes Alabama also. So now we got the BYU at Arkansas game. Anthony takes Arkansas. So do I. The Pigs at home. What say you, sir?
Who's playing? Sorry.
BYU, the Mormons, the Brigham Young University are playing at Arkansas, the Pigs.
We'll go for the Popos. Pigs.
The Pigs. Okay. Okay. I was thinking, where do the cops come from? But hey, that's all good. Sanford Bulldogs play at Auburn Tigers. You know, we got some of these paycheck games that are still here. We both take Auburn on this one. Who do you take?
I'll go Auburn.
You'll go Auburn. Okay. All right. The big game of the week to me, Tennessee at Florida. We've talked about the history. We talked about the domination Florida's had over Tennessee for all these years and stuff. Tennessee is up and coming. They're very pumped. You listen to the radio station, they're ready for this game. But so Anthony takes Florida, he said, because he just can't pick Tennessee.
Well, I'm picking Tennessee.
Okay. B from O said he's picking Auburn 28-10. Good for that, B from O. All right. Kirk took the Pigs too. All right. So you're taking Tennessee. All right. And that's a very good pick. You know, earlier this season when I started out my previous show, I was just so negative. I had Florida like at 3-8 or 3-9 or something. Because I just thought whatever. And honestly, there's moments I still believe it. But this, one of the things that I go back to is sometimes the intangible things and the feel that you get with things sometimes. The Tennessee have not won Gainesville in over 20 years. There's a lot of, they're very confident. They're riding high, really cocky on themselves. All this stuff. Some are convinced it'll be all this stuff. Reminds me of 1997 when Florida State went to Florida to play in Gainesville. The Gators were at home. Gators used two quarterbacks under Spurrier, rotating them every play to prevent signs being stolen. And, you know, it just but the Seminole fans were pains in the butt that week. They were wobbling. They were talking about the one Gator quarterback. Oh, his passes flutter like ducks. And they were like, quack, quack, all this other stuff. What happens? Florida goes out. Game of the century. Last game I ever watched with my dad, and it was a hell of a game to have to be the last game to watch with my dad. And Florida pulled out the victory on it. So many times, B from O says Florida by 10. So many times it's the intangibles with this. But I tell you what, I really was initially going to pick Tennessee to win the whole conference originally, or at least the Eastern Division. Just this Tennessee seemed like that they were on top of the world, that they finally turned it after all these years. You know, and look at the running stats that they smashed Florida. Florida's offense couldn't do anything against Florida, really. I mean, Florida's offense couldn't move the ball, score against Utah. Really frustrating, and really so much frustration with this coaching staff in Gainesville. Fall starts, ill-prepared. I mean, lots of coaching mistakes that are just aggravating that even the guys in Tennessee see and question Florida's coach's competence. You know, just all this stuff and all this damn annoyance with those Tennessee Volunteers and all this shit. You know, it pisses me off. But you know what? Tennessee's right. Tennessee should win this game. This should be a blowout. And it may be a blowout. It very well may be a blowout. So I am picking the Gators. I want to see it to believe it. When they win, then I'll believe that they can win in Gainesville. I'm going intangibles. I am a little bit of homer with this one. Florida at home. I will trust Billy Donovan at Napier one more time. If this team is ready and they play a game, and maybe even if they lose, I'll get some respect. But this team comes out and plays flat, makes mistakes, then it's there's no hope for that. But yes, I am going Gators. And Rambling Canuck, are you there, my friend?
Yeah, I'm going Tennessee.
I know, but I got a proposition for you.
Okay.
That if the Florida Gators win this game,
Yeah.
Not that night, but maybe the next week. If you can play the audio for me, if Florida wins this game, I will go on your karaoke and sing Rocky Top.
Okay. Well, shouldn't it be if Tennessee wins?
No. I'm going against Tennessee should win this game. So if
Okay.
Florida does the impossible for me and Florida actually proves me right, Florida wins, I will go see Rocky Top.
Okay. All right.
Okay?
Sounds good.
It's a little backwards, but see, normally you would pick it that way, but see, if I was picking Tennessee and I would sing, it'd be because I think there's no way Florida could lose.
Yeah.
I'm going the other way, that I don't see how Florida can win. So if Florida does win it, okay, so there you go. All right. But hey, that's you're stunned, I know, but hey, it should be fun. I enjoy Rocky Top. So all right, so that's my announcement of Florida. I just don't see. There's some, but I am being serious with after hearing the talk up there. Their fans talking. Their fans are not confident after the Austin Peay game and the anemic offense and stuff. There's a lot of questioning and stuff up there too. But it comes down to, will Billy Napier have this team prepared? We'll know very quickly in this game. This game will either be a dogfight or it will be ugly early, and it's not in the Gators' favor. So, no. Not. I'm not saying who wants to lose the most, but it's no. That would be Florida if the Florida's trying to win it by losing the most. But hey. All right, we got South Carolina at Georgia in this game. The Dogs are at home again. Anthony takes Georgia for Canuck. So, and I am taking Georgia also. I don't like to, but yeah, they're at home. Carson Beck should get stronger. I just don't trust Spencer Rattler in a big game. I mean, he did
Georgia
at home.
can't lose for the first. Georgia's in a must win almost every game, because the minute that they start, because they're on a 2-year high, right? Their fans are used to Georgia dominating. If Georgia starts to show chinks in that armor, that's not going to be good for the fan base.
Nope. But hey, and then I would tell them, relax. You could be a Gator fan. Y'all had 3 damn good years actually for that. But hey, all right. So then we're going to go Akron at Kentucky with this game. We both take Kentucky. Who do you think here, Canuck?
I'm going Kentucky.
Okay. We got that. So then we flop over to Georgia Tech at Old Piss, as we call it sometimes. So Anthony takes Old Piss, and I take them too. So we're in agreement there.
I'll be the opposite, and I'll say Georgia.
Georgia Tech. Okay. All right. The Rambling Wreck of Georgia Tech. Hell of an engineer. All right. Another game of the week here. Big game in the West. LSU is on the road at paycheck game for that one. Yep. Should be, but you never know. Let's see. B from O actually says, yeah, feel free. I'm sorry if I rush, folks. Feel free. Put your thoughts in the games and predictions too. B from O says, Georgia, I think, will pull off by 14, but the score is not going to represent the game. That happens quite a bit. So you're right. Very much so. All right. So my friend JT Kirk is actually already picking this one, taking Mississippi State. Anthony takes LSU on the road. The Tigers, 1-1, but moving into conference play, defending SEC West champions. Go to Starkville. He says they picked to win. Who do you think in this game, Canuck?
I don't know the teams, but I'll say Mississippi just to be different.
Okay. Well, that being said, I will say that I will take Mississippi State also.
Ha! There we go.
The reason is I think LSU has been vulnerable. If Mississippi State protects the football, Mississippi State can win a game like this. It will be probably low scoring, not what you would usually expect from, it's not a Mike Leach air raid offense anymore. It is it looks like more of a ground and pound type team. So just, it'll be interesting.
going to the chat, B from O, I totally understand that. See, you'll notice I have the Calgary Stampeders emblem up on mine, even though Winnipeg has a team. The problem with the Winnipeg team is it's my brother's team, which means I can't go for it. So I went for the Calgary Stampeders.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Hey, all the more reason. Hey, whatever reasons you have to do with this, that's what counts. So we still got 9 people watching us. Thank y'all for being here. Smash that like button.
Oh,
Say
you'll
hi
want to
if
be
you're
around for
lurking.
the end.
Oh yeah. All right, we got Kansas State at Missouri. We both took Kansas State. Who do you have in this one, Ramblin'?
I'll go Kansas State.
Okay, yeah. Missouri's just so awful. They're just so plain and average, and so I just barely winning at home to Middle Tennessee. But of course, if Florida goes there, they would win the game. We've got Louisiana Monroe at Texas A&M. I think that's the Duck Dynasty UL Monroe, and we both took A&M. Also, who do you have with this one?
That's a Texas weird name team, isn't it? The dog team.
Yeah.
I'm
The
gonna
dog.
go
That's your
opposite for them.
Aggies.
I'm not gonna go for the Aggies. Screw them.
Oh, all
Screw
right.
the Aggies.
Wow, you're going. Yeah, and
Screw the
JT
Aggies.
Kirk says K State looks good. B from us at K State as well. Yeah, well, hey, that's up to you. If you want to use that logic, that's awesome logic. Hey, we take every methodology here. People have used cheese, they've used dice, they've used all kinds of shit to pick
Screw
games.
the
So,
Aggies.
yeah. All right, so we got the last game of the week. We got Vanderbilt at Nevada, Las Vegas. Oh gosh, JT Kirk takes A&M root beer over UL. That's a good one. I like that. We've got Anthony takes UNLV, and I agree with them. I want to pick Vanderbilt, but I tell you what, the problem with Vanderbilt, they're not going to make a bowl game again this year because they're not going to get 6 wins because they should have won the game at Wake Forest last week. They did not do that. I don't trust them on the road again. And even going out west against a kind of a mediocre to bad UNLV team, but I mean, Vanderbilt's got to win this type of games. You going okay? All right. You might win this week then. We'll see what happens. So, B from O says that he thinks College Station will be a good, cool location to see a game. Let me tell you what I think about that in 2020. The place that Dan Mullen got in trouble to because he bitched, but he was rightfully so. When everything was supposed to be social distanced, that was not social distancing. That was not a 50% complete capacity stand. And the fact he got trashed because he complained was bullshit because, all this crap everybody said, you had to do this and had to do that. But you know what? They were all on each other. I mean, it was like a regular home game, That's why he went out the next week and said, hey, let's pack the stadium and stuff. And of course, everybody lost their shit over it. So anyway, but hey, JT Kirk takes UNLV also. But B from O, to that point, I think we're a good place for me to go to watch a game is Austin, Texas, the Longhorns, because they have it's a really weird shaped stadium. But those people last year in that Alabama game, oh my God, that was freaky. They were chaotic and chaos and just crazy. So, all right, well, that does it for our picks right now. Let me see what's here.
So are we near the end of the show when I can teach you how to do some Computer X? Because I want to see your reaction.
Yeah,
all right. So in your email,
I think I only have left a little outro stuff like advertisements. So
okay, cool. So what we'll do is we'll do my surprise and then you can advertise.
Okay.
Sound good? All right. So I'm going to teach you how to do this real quick. So I in your email, you will have an MP4. Do not play that MP4. Just download it.
Well, I got to remember how to get to my email.
Uh-oh.
Hopefully I don't crash the stream though. That's the thing is when
you'll be fine.
Okay, download this. Okay.
Yep. Tell me when it's downloaded.
Okay, download. Okay, that's the arrow down button. Okay, it says download. So it's moving. Okay, it's got to take another 50 seconds.
So I'm going to show you something here. I'm going to share my screen. And yep, there we go. Okay, so let me know when you can see my screen.
Hold on, it's downloading. Okay, do I need to do anything with the download or not?
No. Just leave it in the download. Okay, now I shared my screen.
Okay.
I'm going to show you how to do this. All right. Can you see my screen? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So scroll on your right-hand side here down to where it says video clips.
I gotta get what in the brand?
Yeah. Go to brand, go to video clips.
Okay, I
you
see
probably just have the countdown.
Okay.
As you can see,
Yeah.
I have a few. Where it says
Yeah.
add video clip,
Yeah.
click that.
Okay.
And then it will open up the thing. Go to your downloads and click the file I just sent you.
I'm trying to see where it got parked.
Downloads.
What says no items match my search? I think it put it somewhere else.
Your computer should have put it in downloads. So you go up like this and go into downloads. Should be in downloads.
No, it didn't.
Because you should have quick access, desktop, and download.
Okay, no, it put it somewhere else. It's an MP4 file, right?
Yeah.
This computer's putting it to something on a jump drive right now. So I'm putting it in here right now. So okay.
All right. And then once it's uploaded, let me know. It'll take a couple of seconds.
Oh gosh. Hey. Let me see. I was looking at something real quick. B Formo said, wait a minute. We have a Canadian talking college football. What? Does he know the ball's not round or black and white? No, Canadians have real football. This Canadian will tell you how Americans do it wrong.
Hold on. We have real football, okay? Number one, our fields are longer and we have less downs to do it in.
Yep.
Just saying. You and your 4-down football. What the fuck? Bunch of pansies. Need an extra down. Give me a break.
Exactly.
And we have a longer field to boot. It's always funny when the NFL comes up here because they have to shorten our field.
Yeah.
So you guys are like almost halfway. Like our end zones are still like there's so much room before our end zone where your end zone is put. It just looks pathetic. And then they have to shorten it. Yeah, they shorten it. And then 4-down football is just I shake my head.
I like what Buddy says. They have a C and 2 50-yard lines. I agree.
Yep.
I like that 1-point option. So okay. So what am I doing with this file?
Okay, so has it uploaded?
No, it's still processing.
Okay, just give it a couple of seconds. Let me know when it's done.
Okay, it's there.
Okay, hit it. Just click it like you would the
show.
There you go, a new intro.
Wow. Wow.
I did that while we were talking.
Wow. And I can still use all the misses, but the countdown instead of that generic but vanilla countdown thing.
Now you have a new intro.
Damn, I might have to friggin' put that on Twitter later. Damn. I mean, dude, that's hot.
And I put that together while we were talking. So.
Oh God! B from O, you picked the wrong country with the overdramatic acting from a soccer player by an opposing player. Oh my gosh, it's too funny. Yeah, I get. It looks like JT Kirk liked that. So, and hello, Lisa. Good to see you tonight, my friend. Hope you've had a great day today. Good to see you coming in. I know you've been busy. So, hey, all right. Wow, that was a hellacious. Damn, that is. Wow. Let's see. The countdown on the helmet. Yes, exactly. B from O said that's pretty good.
I didn't have time.
Let's stop. Let's do it again.
That beats the
Wow.
generic intro, doesn't it?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, like, shit. Damn, dude, you didn't have to do that.
And I just
But
threw that
thank
shit
you.
together, so it
Oh,
didn't take
God.
much. That's why I had to mute, because I had to pick the right music. And it's all copyright free, so you don't have to worry about
That's what I
getting
figured.
nailed.
That's what I figured it was because I know you had to watch out all that stuff. And no, I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
that. Damn, that's
So
cool.
I've got my sites I pull from that they're all
Yeah,
copyright free. So
right. Buddy says that Navy at Memphis tied at 21 in the third. I'll probably start watching that game in a few minutes before you and I do something in a few minutes. So let's see. And Lisa says JT. Because I got to say Lisa again. Hey Lisa, and JT Kirk's being a butthole now. Can you add a Darth Maul with his dual lightsaber activated, spinning, dashing around the screen like that?
if I had the time, I probably
sure-
could.
I'm sure the mouse wouldn't like that either, but JT's trying to get me irritated with that and aggravated. That's awesome. So see, he's laughing. All
Except
right. So
the
hey,
only problem with Darth Maul is he has split personality.
I
Okay,
know
that was a bad Star Wars joke.
Yeah, and he fell down a big hole to the bottom. Oh my gosh, folks! Make sure y'all hit that like button tonight. We've appreciate everybody being here tonight. Get more people here. We're at 460 subs. We had a great night last night. Great night tonight talking football with you guys. Thank you for everybody being here tonight. Like I said, make sure you smash that like button because let's see, we're still at 8 likes. We had more, but hey, it's all good. You know why? Because you guys are here with me tonight, and thank you for being here. Ramblin', thank you for coming in and helping me chat and talk and everything else. So hey, as always, good.
I didn't really contribute much because I don't know shit, but I did
Well,
good for making it.
Well, it helped having I got a new intro out of it.
Yeah, yeah. So now everybody give him shit if he starts using that generic piece of shit again.
Well, I might have to use that damn thing on all of them. The chill chats and everything. So damn, that's a hell of an intro. Now I'm gonna pick on Lisa again. I gotta say hi to Lisa again just for the fun of it, you know. So just to say hi. But and then B from over here
that'll get your juices flowing before a show for sure.
Oh hell yeah! I mean that and it's a great intro. It's just it's got power, it's got volume. It hits you.
It's even football related.
Yeah.
I even found the American flag for you because I was a nice person.
Hi back. Hi. And B said it's been a fun show. Yes, absolutely, folks. So, folks, speaking of that, here he is here. His wife made him this avatar, of course. This is the biggest damn delay that's been irritating me lately, and I don't know what to do with it. I've reported to StreamYards with it, but it's like it takes forever. There we go. B from O and his wife, S from O, made this avatar for him. Of course, well, we cut off his body and just we decapitated him and put his face in it. But there he is. B from O is going to be our guest next week. He's an Auburn fan, and I do not remember who Auburn plays offhand, but you know it will be a big game for Auburn. So come, we'll talk football, his experiences, what he knows about football, any memories, things like that, as well as we will look at last week's action, this week's action, reviewing Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, Tennessee, and then looking forward towards the next week's action and where the standings in the SEC rest and the top 25. So yeah.
And the guest will definitely know more about football than me.
Well, you know a lot about football. I thought that's why I like having you on with this because we can compare and contrast the differences between American football and the Canadian side because there's a lot of the elements of the Canadian football that I really like.
They keep changing the rules too. And some of the rules are okay and some of them are just, are you kidding me?
Well, they're doing that here in the States too, both at the college and the NFL level. And the problem is they keep wanting to shorten these games. And I'm like, well, how about charge less money then? You know, I mean, I want the game to last the way it should naturally, not being artificially shortened.
They're not going to charge less money. They're going to charge more money because they're going to build a new stadium and they need money.
Well, it's all these weenies out there that sit here and whine because a game goes on too long. I like a 20-inning baseball game too.
It's like these stupid idiots that sit there and like I remember when I was young, if you watched an overtime game in hockey, I know this is hockey and not football, but whatever. and you watched an overtime game, you were excited. You were, oh my God, it went to triple over. We were on the edge of our seat. Now people go, oh my God, it was such a boring game. It went to
Yeah.
overtime 3 times. What the fuck? Like,
Hey, look, I'm a
the
New Jersey
hell?
Devils fan. I'm a New Jersey Devil fan in the late '90s with Martin Brodeur. I loved to slow down low score in hockey, and they've done everything to
Well,
get rid of defensive hockey. Yeah,
back in the 90s, I was a Jets fan.
you
Then
know
my
what?
Jets left. Then
You
my
know
Jets
what?
left and became the Phoenix Coyotes. And then then I had to cheer for my other team, which was Colorado.
Yeah.
But I cheered for Colorado when they had Waugh and net, Patrick Waugh, Joe Sakic, Peter Forsberg, high note
You
foot.
know, we're going to have to talk
Yeah.
hockey next year. I think we're going to have to talk hockey this next hockey season. I contemplated it, but I didn't take one more thing on. But if you're, I just need somebody to help me with the hockey. So oh yeah, we got a Red Winger in here though.
Oh
Yeah.
well, that's still better than the Schittsburg Penguins. I mean the Pittsburgh Penguins. Sorry, I sneezed there. The Schittsburg Penguins. I mean the Pittsburgh Penguins. Or it could be even worse. The Anaheim Mighty Cafucks, or the Vancouver Cafuck-ups, or the
Canucks got a name for everybody, folks. So
I do.
Yes.
And some of them are not PG.
No, those weren't PG, but I got you. So, well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up because I tell you what I want to do. JT Kirk, your mod that I see out there, can you take Rambling Canucks link to his channel for me and put it in there? Because Canuck and I will be playing Fortnite shortly.
Yes.
Are you still planning on streaming?
Between now and 9:30, there will be a stream.
Or 10:30 for us on the Eastern. Lisa, your 9:30 is right. It's
Eastern.
Central. So
nobody counts that weird.
The Central does not exist. It's
Central
Central
is the only time zone that
it's
matters.
The entry when the Eastern that makes a difference.
Eastern is just it's like the Eastern conferences. They never matter.
Yeah. We got the last time when the Leafs win the cup and Tampa Bay Lightning. Oh dear God, I'm from Florida.
Tampa Gay? Who likes Tampa Gay?
I hate Tampa. I hate Florida hockey. I'm a New Jersey Devils, even though I've never been to New Jersey. So
but hey, there's Tampa Gay, and then
then
there's the Flames.
All right. But hey,
and of course you can't talk hockey without talking about the Toronto Make Me Laughs.
The Make Me Laughs, not the Maple Leafs. That's cool.
No, they're Make Me Laughs because they show up every year.
Yeah, and there you go, folks. Always check out Canuck. This is the channel link where he does in Saturday night karaoke too, the best karaoke channel around. And like I said, Ramblin', if Florida beats Tennessee, it can't be. I'll be out of town this Saturday. Otherwise, I'd do it this Saturday. If Florida beats Tennessee Saturday, I will sing Rocky Top on your channel the next week.
All right. I'll make sure I find a nice high key for you.
There you go. That's fine. That's fine. JT said that Tampa Bay is just an NHL team for retired Red Wings fans that moved to Florida. You know what? Honestly, with this much hockey interest, I'm serious. Maybe we'll have to talk hockey this next season. Get something broad in the base. So, hey.
Oh, then you'll see me go on mini rants.
That's fine. That's fine. I like rants. I'm a rampager. So this week, our guest was not here, but I shared his picks anyway. We had Rambling in for week 3. Look at what's coming up. We got B from O next Thursday. Then Small Time Republic the following Thursday. A local guy that I know his brother, MC Wally, will be here, followed by JT Kirk in October. And actually, one thing may change with this schedule now. We may have a channel adjustment to this because our trip has gotten canceled in October. So we may have a football stream the week I had not planned on doing it. But then you see Martin D with C, you have KJ in Theory, Whoopa Troop, and Lorena Creole coming up. So those are our special guests coming up. Next Wednesday, it's Ang and me walking and rambling. Join us for that. We don't know what our topic will be. We'll have fun, though. Last time we talked about blockchains and all kinds of stuff that I had no clue about, but all I know is our friend Hungry Boy had a...
See, now this is a show made for me. It's got my name in it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm just sitting here. I know. I'm just sitting here walking around talking and rambling on and about whatever it is that comes up. So, hey, there we go. So join me and Ang next week. Wednesday at 8 p.m. for that. And then, as always, live streams and videos are on YouTube and Twitch at Dadman Walking 55. Also, get my updates of when I go stream, even on spontaneous. If you hit that bell on YouTube, hit the notifications on Twitch. But best way is also follow me on Twitter and see when I go live, even on spur of the moment. At Dadman Walking 55 is the place to be, and there is only one Dadman Walking 55, and it's at Dadman Walking 55. That's Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. If you don't see at Dadman Walking 55 in the name, it ain't me, even if it uses an old avatar. So hey, JT Kirk, not thinking of myself on that. You have a really cool panel. Oh yeah, it does look like a great panel. I'm excited, and you're welcome, OC Dobbins. Thank you for being here, my friend. Good to see you, and thank you for putting that out. X/Twitter. Thank you, JT, for that. And folks, everybody, we got 10 people. It's like every time I go to close it, more people come in, and it's like, I'm so sorry. But we do have to close because we are at the end of the stream. Canuck needs to rest, and in about half an hour, we're going to be hitting up Fortnite over there on his channel. But hey, feel free, go over there, catch us over there, subscribe to his channel also. Subscribe here on YouTube. Let's get to 500 very soon. We're only 40 away. Rambling, thank you so much for your help tonight and being here.
Not a problem.
And thank you for that nice kick-ass intro for our football streams going forward.
No problem. I'm glad you like it.
Always appreciate it. I love it. So, hey, on that note, folks, everybody, take care. Oh, look, B from O has sub to you, Rambling. So, hey.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, folks. All right. We'll hope to see y'all later. And y'all have a good night if I don't talk to you elsewhere. And everybody, see you later. Bye.